my name is Grace Ruiru, founder of the Soil Inventory. It's located in Nyandarua and Nakuru counties. It started on the 6th of October 2017. Organization basically bridges the gap between science, academics, research, and the actual farming practice. So we offer farmer education and agronomic services to our farmers who happen to be at least 65 to 70% female, because they're the laborers at the field. I started the organization when I was in uni. It was supposed to be my whole team that we were working on a certain project to do it, and we realized the gap between what we were learning in school and what the farmers were doing and practicing at that time. And so we bared the burden, but later on it had to be a solo ride. That's how I started the organization, to offer farmer education and to see that farming is a profitable enterprise, and to just change the narrative whereby small-scale farmers or middle-scale farmers are referred to as peasant farmers. Like, you can't earn a decent income from farming, but with the technologies, but also the technology that have been created, the academics, the research that has been done, and all the resources that has been put into research, that means that there is a gap of adoption to all these technologies and research and what agronomists or other people in the agricultural field are taught in school to do. So yeah, that was the inspiration to start the organization, to bridge that gap, which is big and huge. My beneficiaries are farmers, and they're farmers who happen to be, as I said earlier, 65 to 70% are women, because they're the laborers in our fields. At times they are financed, they do the labor, but they do not have the profit margins of the farm and everything. They only put the labor into it. So for us, it's to come and also just bridge also that gap, and also as they adopt the technologies, but also they can adopt having to be economically stable and make decisions on behalf of the farms where they labor in, but also be empowered enough to know that it's not only farming for sustenance, but also for business. I would say I've impacted so many farmers, thousands, but the number that I would narrow down to, that I'm in touch with, is 440 farmers for the 7 years that we have existed, or rather, we'll be turning 7 years this year. So we have reached 440 farmers. The most inspiring success story, I would say, is having to have farmer field days, which I would say will mimic the agricultural shows that we have, and wanting to live the dream that I would also offer this to farmers, especially in the rural spaces in Nyandarua, who do not have access maybe to these big SK shows. So our farmer field days take that angle, where we have various partners coming to showcase what they have, lead farmers coming to showcase what they have, but also with a bit of entertainment to also encourage the farmers, but also to give them some exposure. So I'll say the most success will be having our farmer field days, which we liken them to those ASK shows in those rural areas, so that farmers can also feel the exposure and also feel what other, maybe I would say large-scale farmers or those exposed farmers get to see and get to handle on a daily basis. Some of the challenges that I have faced as we are having our initiative is farmers did not appreciate first having a person coming to teach them. They would feel like it's more of the academic bit and not the practical bit of it. So having young people who are calling themselves agronomists, because we majorly deal with the crops, coming to train them and just tell them what they are doing is good, but they need to improve, face some backlash, because they felt like we were just giving them the theory bit of it, but we were not giving the practical bit of it. But also having to do this on a volunteer basis at first, because they wouldn't see the value of why we would pay an agronomist to walk me with the journey of having crops in the field up to harvesting bit and pay for those services, whereas they've been doing this for a while, only to just try to explain to them, when you work with an agronomist, it means you improve your production and also save on the cost, because not everything that you do to the field is necessary, but also practice more of conservation agriculture and the upcoming technologies that are there. So they could not fathom why they would pay for services as the agronomic services. So we had the training bit, the offering of the services at no cost, and also just gathering the farmers to adopt this technology. They'll feel like it's too much work, and also you're changing what they are doing. You're changing their way of doing things, which would be a bit difficult for them. How our initiative has adapted to these challenges: first, we have farmer groups, so that we would have a lead farmer who would also be an example to the rest of the farmers. That means they adopt the technologies. That means they do what is taught of them, and they would walk the journey with an agronomist. Though they may not pay for the services of an agronomist, other farmers would see the benefit of it and learn from their fellow farmers. But also, on the bit of training, we had to come up with demo plots. So we have demo fields in Nyandarua County, in an area called Silanga, Nyandarua, where we have demo spaces. So when we tell farmers to do a certain variety of, for example, potatoes or strawberry or any other crop, they would come and see it firsthand, how we are doing it as experts, so that they would learn from our demonstration plots and then adopt it in their farms. So that helped us to overcome the challenges. But that of offering our services is yet to be, they are yet to accept the fact that they can pay for these services and that they are worthwhile paying for the services. So we are still trying to walk the journey with them to know that they can still pay for the services and still acquire the profits that they desire. Some of the strategies that we have come up with to ensure continuity of our initiative is, one, partnering with the county governments, because agriculture being a devolved unit, that means it was brought closer through the county governments. So working with the county governments, one, helps us to offer services easily, because farmers warm up to the county because they offer their services for free, or rather I would say they are service-based, but also they help us reach out to a wider range where resources seem to be minimal. But also partnering with like-minded organizations, especially on our farmer field days, we have like-minded organization and like-minded minds that come on board into our initiative and our organization and walk the journey with us, and also showcase and also support us in various ways that we would want. But the ultimate is partnering with the county government and other organizations. Our organization aligns to the International Women's Day, #Inspire Inclusion. One, we are targeting the farmers who are women, to get inspired by what we are doing. We are training them, we are empowering them, not only to have large produce, but also to earn a decent income. That means improving their income, but also having to improve their economic status as women. But also, being one of the objectives is that to have sustainable agriculture for food security for women and girls. I think what we are doing, we are basically training them to have sustainable agriculture for them, not only for their households, but also to empower them economically by selling the produce that they have in their fields.